Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman, live on YouTube. We're up next.
We are up next.
Hello.
Hello, how are we doing?
Oh, we're even in the NXT colors.
Yeah.
Black and gold.
Yeah, and
or,
red.
Sorry, black and yellow. That's the other show's gold.
They call it the black and gold brand, though.
They do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy yet.
It is. We've got Eric in the room.
Someone already is pointing out you're wearing a Mad Braddock's shirt.
It's my karaoke partner.
Yeah.
Hey, how many times have I been karaoke with you? So many times. We've never sung together, but I've sung with Brad
We've
Maddox.
never sung together? I'm pretty sure we've sung together.
No, we've not sung together.
Ever?
We're not about that.
Because we were both single men.
Yeah.
You can't get anything, sometimes you can get things if you team up. That's for the Patreon exclusive shirts.
Okay.
Shows, I mean.
How are we, YouTube room? How are we looking? How are we sounding?
Yeah, Davie is on one tonight.
I'm fine. We're all fine.
Davie is on 110% tonight.
110%. Okay.
I think we both are. We're going to start recording in a second. We're going to talk about some NXT tonight. That's what we're going to do here. So are we good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, let me tweet it out. Let me do that, and then we'll do it. So let's get the room going. I know Eric Marcotte's in the room. Frank says he's good, not as good as us.
Hey, we're just putting on a brave face.
Yeah. For what? What's your brave?
I don't know. They like, you guys seem great today. It's like,
why, you having a bad day?
No, I'm not having a great day. I'm just having a day. Sounding good. Super TW. Have we seen you before, Super TW? I don't recognize that name. We've got MJ in the room.
Oh, of course. He said he was watching tonight.
Yeah. I don't think there were that many watching NXT tonight.
No.
I've got a feeling. I didn't think there was much buzz going into it. And not much buzz coming out, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, I don't think there was any buzz. I would have been watching the other show, 100%. I'm honest.
But of course, if you saw the show, you still got some time to go to the Post Wrestling Forum and leave your feedback, and we'll read your feedback at the end of the show.
Yes. Now, let's do this. Let's do this show. Let me take a sip of my beverage. It is a summery drink. You're right.
It's nice. It's nice, but summery.
Get your drinks, smoke them if you got them. And we're going to start recording Up Next, the podcast. Thanks for joining in and hanging out with us here on YouTube, people. I'm going to turn that off. Don't like that. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Click that subscribe, click that download, write us a nice little message. But of course, Davie, where else can they find us?
You can find us every Wednesday night, youtube.com/upnext at around 10:30 Eastern Time, where we do our live version of this show. So you can join in, you can chat to us on YouTube. We also do our live watch-alongs. Obviously, we just had one last week for Full Gear, which we were joined with Way for the post-show.
Oh, that was fun.
But that was a fun night, a long night on camera.
So much
for us
wrestling.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, we love doing our watch-alongs and our YouTube room. So hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/upnext, and join us for these live shows.
Yeah, we go on YouTube every Wednesday night. We are your NXT friends. And
friends.
You missed it. You missed your cue.
You went down and I was
friends.
Like, friends. Yes, there we go.
And we watch NXT every week, and you mentioned we did AEW Full Gear. We joined forces. It was the borders were open. Cross promotion.
Post next.
Post wrestling. Up next, we were joined by Way, and we talked about Full Gear, and was some people's like show of the year already. Definitely, we praised most of it.
Yes.
Other than that elite deletion things, but go listen to that show wherever you find your podcast for free, and the video version, like you mentioned, on our YouTube. But yeah, like we talk about NXT every week, and this is definitely a week where I probably would have wanted to watch the fallout from the pay-per-view, so I probably would have tuned into Full Gear if I wasn't doing the show.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to watch NXT this week.
We're turncoats.
We are your NXT friends, and we love NXT.
Yeah.
But yeah, I certainly felt there was more buzz this week. The fallout of Full Gear, I was definitely interested in. We will be watching it later, of course. Once we finish this, we normally have a little walk around the neighborhood and relax a little, and then stick on a bit of AEW. And we'll be talking all about that tomorrow on our Patreon, patreon.com/upNXT, for our episode of upNXT, talking all about tonight's AEW. So check that out.
I haven't seen any spoilers. All I know is I better be talking about Hangman Page more again tomorrow. That's all I know I want to talk about.
And that just gives us a chance to tell the YouTube room to respect spoilers, if you don't mind. So thank you. You're always normally very good at that, so thank you.
Yeah, Wednesdays we finish the show, and then we go, since we can't go out anymore. Remember those days? That feels like years ago when we could go to an actual bar. And now we just decide to take a little roadie around the neighborhood. And it seems like every Wednesday there's like this like midnight bonfire that we keep walking by, but every time we like we're interested, want to go over and investigate, they don't look like the nicest group of people.
No.
So,
fire's cool though.
Fire is fire.
The fire is fire, just like the chat. Yeah, so it used to be back in the days we'd finish upNXT, and we'd have time to make last call when bars close at 2. And then obviously recently the laws have changed, so they close at 11. And we were meant to be, well, I work in the service industry, and we were preparing to open indoor dining again this weekend, and which I was very much looking forward to as the weather's turning, and that's how I make money. I make money by serving people, and people don't want to be served in the cold. So indoor dining coming back, I was looking forward to, but they changed the laws where we were going to close earlier at 9 p.m. But now they've scrapped indoor dining as well, so yeah, it's kind of tough. A lot of friends in the industry are kind of concerned, and I know this is happening kind of all over the world.
All over the world.
But yeah, things are getting more and more serious. I know other parts of the world are in lockdown right now or going into lockdown. I don't think we're that far off that happening here. But yeah, it sucks because it's me personally, it's fucking with me, and I know it's fucking with a lot of people.
Definitely.
And at this point, I kind of feel like I just would rather everything just closed or everything opens. I'm fed up of like, you can do this, but you guys can't do that, and it's pissing me off, Braden.
I just hate that, like, everywhere in the world, first of all, like, we're wrestling fans, and some of our listeners know we like to travel and go to wrestling shows when we can, and do shows and cover shows and stuff like that, and that's a totally different thing that I miss, like, meeting our friends all over, our, like, network of friends and listeners and stuff. That's super fun, but, like, obviously we're in Toronto here, and, like, my favorite places are shutting down. One of my favorite venues in Kensington Market, like, it feels like half of Kensington Market, Toronto is shut down. Where am I supposed to rave? Raves aren't a thing anymore. Oh my god, yeah. Just like bars and just like places all over. Think of all the cities you travel to and stuff that will be totally changed for the rest of history because of this thing, and not just places and bars, but like family-owned businesses and mom and pop shops. When
for sure,
is the future just going to be Walmart's? Like, because big corporations, when things settle and the dust clears, but it sucks. So wherever you may be, keep holding on. It's like this up and down thing. Again, Canada, we're going into winter, and it's gonna suck. So at least we have wrestling to watch.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've had a beautiful week.
Yeah.
It's been gorgeous here.
Yeah.
It was 22 degrees yesterday. It was warm.
I was like...
It was warm. I was out in a t-shirt.
Yeah, it was
great.
pretty nice.
Now it's getting a little cooler, but I was grateful to have that week. It was very nice.
I went on Instagram and Twitter the other day. I got some attention on there because the other day I was out for a nice walk because, again, beautiful. I walked through the U of T, University of Toronto campus, and I accidentally stumbled onto a movie set.
Right.
And I was in the catering section, and then I just kind of pretended like I belonged there and started walking, inching closer to a movie set, and then didn't get to the movie set. But I didn't know what it was. So time goes on, and I find that it's Man from Toronto, Kevin Hart, and Woody Harrelson, and they're shooting all over. They just filmed in like Brampton and all this stuff around. So I was potentially in range of Woody Harrelson. So then I decided to DM Woody Harrelson because I feel like me and him would get along. I feel like he might need like a smoke buddy. But I think COVID is preventing that from happening too, because he's probably scared. He's like, "Oh, dude, I probably want to."
I reckon on that set, he's probably got 20 smoke buddies.
He's probably But I sent him. I shot my shot. I sent him a nice DM, and I said, "Woody, if you need a local guy, I'll take you around Koreatown, Toronto. We can hang out. We can talk about aliens, Norm. We can talk about all the things." But it hasn't happened yet. But I'm gonna get him here. One day you're gonna come home from work.
Probably doesn't want to talk about his past movies either.
No. He definitely. It's a show, but definitely. I'm gonna get him in the backyard, and we're gonna hang out with Future Carnage, and we'll talk about all the stuff, and the world will rejoice.
Text me when it happens, and I'll be there.
I'm just gonna send you a picture, and you'll be mad you missed out on hanging out with Woody. But that's like the only thing. Like things are shut down, but they're still allowed to film movies and Batman and all sorts over there. But it's just like, what a world.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man 3 shots where Tom Holland's wearing a Spider-Man mask and
yes.
then his mask
and then the mask, yeah.
Wear your mask. It's just an interesting time because movies aren't like coming out like they used to. What's the Oscars gonna be this year?
Sonic. What is it? It's gonna be Sonic. It's gonna be Bad Boys for Life, King of Staten Island,
You're saying
Chicago
Pete Davidson?
7.
Pete Davidson.
They're the only fucking films that have come out.
What would win the Oscars this year? Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. Jim Carrey for Sonic.
Robotnik.
I didn't watch it, but
it was good. I liked it. It was fun. One of the best films I've seen in the cinema this year.
We watched him as Joe Biden on SNL with Dave Chappelle the last Saturday. After we finished our Full Gear show, we definitely went and jumped on that, watching Joe Biden run down the alley like Ultimate Warrior. Good home quality, restaurant quality.
Yeah.
So I guess as you can tell, we're not super excited to talk about NXT this week because it feels like some things happened, but really.
Well, before we go into it, let's promote some shows we've got coming up, because you might have thought spooky season was over, but it isn't for us because this Friday, it is Friday the 13th. So we thought we'd go back to 1980 and have a look at Friday the 13th, the original.
Yeah, and come celebrate Friday the 13th
with us.
It'll be in your feed on Friday.
On the Patreon feed.
We'll talk about the superstitions too.
As well as on Sunday, we're coming up to one of the big 4 pay-per-views in just a couple of weeks with Survivor Series. So we're doing a very special best match ever, covering our favourite non-elimination matches from Survivor Series. So we're talking Bret Hart versus Stone Cold. We're talking Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne last year. We're talking about Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair.
Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg?
Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Absolutely.
I was there.
Yeah, so many good matches from Survivor Series that we'll be looking back on, and that'll be available on Sunday. And then next week, we're gearing up for Survivor Series. Andrew Thompson's been chatting shit on the internet.
Mad shit. But way rebutted on the Full Gear show.
Way, if you listen to our Full Gear show, gave his reply. It's heated. It's going to be our 2nd annual Survivor Series draft game. And, Braden, one of us needs to win this one.
We have some issues here. So this is a Patreon show, and if you want the podcast version of it, you'll get it. But if you want to listen to it and join in and be part of the show, be the game show audience, it is happening not this Thursday, but next Thursday, live on our YouTube. You can join in and help decide a winner in this. We have to find the undisputed upNXT champion. We have to. It's come down to a few things. Davie, you created these games. You're like Chris Jericho, who never wins Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But I invented everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm just here to get screwed over all the time. And that's where we bring in...
Because you don't read the rules, Braden.
John Cena, host of Shot in the Dark, free on the Patreon, by the way. He's going to be joining us as well because I got a bone to pick with him. He screwed me out of the title. I would have been champion if it wasn't for him stealing my TLC at the Greatest SummerSlam game event. So he's back. This feud is some great... We do better long-term storytelling than the actual Fed.
Oh, with this and our 2K games.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Wait till we get that AEW GM mode game.
Oh, yeah. So you've got that to look forward to. As we said, it is available. If you happen to log in live next Thursday at 7 p.m, you get to have it for free, but we will be taking it down and giving it just to our patrons after. So if you want a taster for us, log in, youtube.com/upNXT next Thursday at 7 p.m. But also, we do like our movies here in the BDE. So next week we'll be doing another free Batman review.
Ooh.
This time we're talking about the animated series and their movie that came out in theaters, Mask of the Phantasm.
You guys asked for it, so we're doing it. We said, hey, it's a cartoon, it's animated, does it count? It was in theaters, and people really seem to love this movie, so fuck it, we're adding it to the Batman journey through Gotham. So Mask of the Phantasm, that's out next week as well, next Friday. So all the shows, we just did a November to Remember 1995, Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Mexican Deathmatch, that's up there on the feed. All the shows in the back catalog, North American Championship tier, $5 a month, gets you access to all the shows, all the past games, to find out, was I screwed? Was I screwed? Is Way a real champion? Is Andrew Thompson a real champion? You can listen to all the shows we do to prep yourself for next week. But patreon.com/upnext. Go check out all the stuff we are doing there. And while you're at it, at UpNext Podcast on Twitter and Instagram for the follows there, including the newly crowned Hangman Pages, the new BDE, 5-time BDE championship.
Well, hopefully his reign will last as long as Johnny Gargano's, because I am taking that off of you later tonight.
Wow, yeah. I want to see Woody Harrelson play Hangman Page in a movie.
Okay.
That would be a good combo.
I think it will be just like Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Just more smoking weed. Let's go to NXT from Wednesday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Remembrance Day, wherever you may be. And yes, NXT, Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. We start off with a video package for Veterans Day, and everyone involved, even Space Force I got out of there. And,
yep, Space Force, thanks for protecting us, Steve Carell.
From space, people. I got, like, uncomfortably stoned the other night, and I couldn't sleep, and I watched Ancient Aliens, but, like, I put it on.
Okay.
You know what that show is? The documentary.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
I got about half an hour in, and I was like, I'm going to bed.
Did you watch Space Force?
No, I never did.
It was good. I liked it.
Steve Carell.
You don't like Steve Carell? Oh, come on. You're on a lonely fucking island there.
Like he left The Office, and like, what have you done for me lately? Space Force.
Done a lot of films.
I don't
Space
hate
Force.
him.
He's great.
I'm just like
John Malkovich as well.
I like John Malkovich is in
Isn't
Space
he?
Force.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, maybe I'll check it out. Don't hold your breath. Let's go to Johnny Gargano, the North American champion of NXT. He starts the show, but he's got the Wheel of Challenger. And he starts to sing the Wheel of Fortune theme while thrusting his hips.
Yeah, this song's popular in NXT.
The Wheel of Fortune theme?
This used to be Blue Pants theme, right? That Big Cass would sing.
Oh, right.
Sure, it was Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
right?
was it? Oh, I mean, it should have been singing Jeopardy theme. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Johnny Gargano says, respect the wheel. He says, I made history becoming a 2-time North American champion. The first time, in my first defense, I lost. You could call it bad luck. But then I went on to win the NXT championship, and the same thing happened. Title go bye-bye. I'm cursed, I tell ya. With one spin here, though, someone gets an opportunity. And when there's a wheel, there's a way. So he decides it's got a wheel he made, custom, with his face in the middle, with all these names of potential challengers for his title. However, one of the names is like a piece of paper scratched out, like written, that says Leon Ruff. out of all of them. It sticks out like a sore thumb. He spins the wheel, and the wheel spins and spins and spins, and clearly it's got some sort of magnetic rig to it that, of course, lands.
Starts spinning back the other way.
Yeah, it goes like up and down, and then goes all the way back to Leon Ruff. And he goes, whoa, that's totally unpredictable. Leon Ruff, wow, incredible. Leon Ruff, come on down. And out comes the challenger now, Leon
And
Ruff.
he's like a contestant coming on down.
Yeah.
He's like smiling and happy. Me? What? No.
I'm getting real... I think it's JBL who once did like a draw for a challenger, and then it was like Shannon Moore. Oh, and then like someone revealed that all the ballots were
right,
Shannon
yeah.
Moore. Yeah, count the ballots. So Leon Ruff is now going to challenge Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Johnny Gargano with the size advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, he's bigger.
He picks up Ruff in a fireman carry and hits a face plant. Ruff escapes some hold and just like does these rope springboard escape. He's like a cat here, bouncing around, and Johnny can't get him. And then Johnny finally gets his hands on him, just throwing him around. On the outside, Johnny sees Priest is watching like through the glass. So he looks at the camera like posing, like, look at this loser. So Priest just walks around
Out of it.
Yeah, and like comes up to Johnny, who gets a little scared here. But he does his arrow pose mocking Priest before. It was pretty funny. So Johnny gets into the ring after being scared by Priest, and Ruff rolls him up for a 2 count. Johnny hits him with a huge lariat and then goes for a lawn dart. But there's a distraction. Like, he keeps looking over at Priest, which allows Ruff to counter one of Johnny's moves here into like a Yoshi Tonic type crucifix style of a move, a crucifix pin.
Yeah, like with the kind of bomb with it.
Yeah,
It looked
like
really
a
cool.
crucifix bombing type pin. And Leon Ruff pins Johnny Gargano to become the new NXT North American Championship. And Johnny Gargano is absolutely livid. He grabs the title, like, no, this isn't happening. And Leon Ruff is like out of there. And
The funniest bit is Damian Priest puts the title around... Kyrie's falling down, sorry.
Oh, no.
Just our sets falling down on us. Damian Priest puts the title around Leon Ruff's waist, but it's too big for him and just falls right down.
right to his feet.
Right to his feet.
Triple H has now taken a photo, because you have to with
Yeah.
your new champion, and it's the same pose. The title's around, and Triple H is pointing at
Right.
the title around his feet, around his ankles.
Now, this I found this very entertaining, actually. I wasn't expecting this to happen at all, but good for Leon Ruff. He's someone that, during those initial kind of quarantine, empty arena things, he was always there. He was on
Yeah.
Raw, he was on SmackDown, he was in NXT. It was really cool to kind of see him win something. The question is, does it cheapen the title a bit, because he's not like a serious contender at this point? And
I see it as a stepping stone. I think there's a story to be
I
had.
hope it means a big thing for him. I really do. And Johnny Gargano sold it fantastically, but this didn't really quite give the same thing as I think of when Triple H was champ in 2000s and is just that mega heel. And there was that time Jericho pinned him, and obviously it was reversed later. But I remember he'd have matches against, like, he had one against Taka Michinoku on SmackDown, and had one against, I think, Brooklyn Brawler. And he would do this thing where he's like the big monster heel champion, and these guys almost actually get a win over him. And I don't think Johnny Gargano's quite at that monster heel level.
He was here.
But it was entertaining. It was fun.
They go to commercial after this victory, this shock, and we see as they come back from break, Leon Ruff is backstage with Priest, who's like scared that Johnny is now chasing after him to beat him up. So Priest gives Leon Ruff his car keys and says, "Here, go to the parking lot. I'm got the black Challenger. Drive off. Go for it. Get out of here. Johnny's gonna be pissed." So he takes the keys from Priest and he dips. So now Johnny shows up and he's mad and he's in the face of Priest, and Priest says, "You choked. You just choked." And now William Regal and the referees are involved, and Johnny's like, this was like a farce. That everyone knows Johnny hates wheels. This is
There was no contract signing, blah, blah,
this is
blah.
fake. This is no contract. This is nothing. Reverse this. Regal, reverse it. And he says, no, it was your idea. So you need to go cool off. He says, you're too hot-headed. I can't talk to you. So Johnny's just screaming. He's livid. Priest is laughing. And Johnny's upset.
I really liked Priest giving the keys to Ruff. I thought that was pretty cool. It made just him seem like a good babyface, but it's also kind of a baller move, you know? He's probably got 2 cars back there. He's probably partying there tonight anyway, so needs to Uber home. I'll be picking this up in the morning anyway, just...
Go drive to my house. There's a hot tub in the back.
Yeah, me there. Champagne's in the fridge. You'll meet Rachel and Emily. They'll take care of you.
Brandy, Lauren, or someone, yeah. So our new champion is Leon Ruff.
Yeah.
He is the North American champion as we're recording this right now. We go to our next match, another title match here. Santos, Escobar, and Legado del Fantasma taking on Jake Atlas. Now, we had Jake last week chase after the boys with a lead pipe and then drove off.
Hit one and then jumped in his car and locked the door and drove.
Yeah. And they said earlier today he did the same thing. He drove up and he attacked 2 of the guys and he's like, I got you. See, I'll get you again. So he's got the other one now. So, of course, Legado ringside here are in the ring with Santos, selling. We're hurt from this lead pipe. So Santos is now taking on Jake. And you notice anything different with Jake Atlas?
Was it new music?
It was new music. I'm happy that you caught that. Jake Atlas has my new favorite theme in wrestling now. Apparently this theme, is it still standing or something, was used in TNA or...
It's a proper song.
MLB The Show, apparently.
Most entrance themes just have kind of the same sort of 30, 40 seconds on a loop. And even if there are lyrics, it's just the same verse and chorus repeated, at least in modern wrestling. That's how the songs are. You played this after NXT. This is a proper verse. There's a guy rapping, there's a girl singing, there's a bridge,
Stand Strong.
It's pretty good.
Stand Strong by Roos Jukes and The Archetype featuring Sarah Miller. I don't know. I searched Jake Atlas' new NXT theme and it popped up a few things down, and I think it's a banger. I don't necessarily fits him. I think it does, but it's just a sick theme. So he got a good one out of. They probably were like, look, we can get any of these songs in a bank here. And he's like, hey, that one works.
I don't know how it is as entrance music, but as a song, it's pretty
it
catchy.
Comes out, he was like, it gets you hyped up. So shout out Jake Atlas's new theme because it was banging. Yeah, looks good. So we see Jake Atlas versus Santos for the Cruiserweight Championship. And we see Escobar, who hits Atlas early on with a side Russian leg sweep and then turns it into some sort of leg wrap around the neck.
Fantastic move, that.
And you were loving it. Jake Atlas, though, gets to his feet, goes for a head scissors, but gets caught face planted. Escobar scouts him a lot in this match. Santos beats down on him until Atlas fights back and hits a huge forearm. There's then Mendoza and Wild up on the apron, who gets super kicked. And then the pipe is reintroduced, the lead pipe. But there's then a picture-in-picture.
Atlas kicks it away from Mendoza, who tries to use it, and then he uses it on both of them again.
So in the video game, if you use a weapon on a manager, you still get DQ'd, but not in real life. Because he just used it. They weren't in the match. So he's allowed to...
He's a babyface. It's fine.
He's allowed to lay that pipe. So he does that. And he then does this springboard into the ring to hit Santos with a springboard blockbuster for a 2 count. This looked great. They do go to commercial break, but when we come back, they tell us that the boys, Legado del Fantasma, were sent away. They were no longer allowed to be ringside. Santos hits an avalanche Hurricane Rana and then hits a frog splash for a 2 count. There's then a comeback from Jake, who hits a running Hurricane Rana, then a German suplex and enziguris, and Jake kind of goes for a tope suicida. Didn't quite get all of it, as Michael Cole would say. But then back in the ring, there's roll-ups and other roll-ups, and then Santos hits this sort of a single hook kick kind of move, but then Atlas comes back. There's a great back and forth, honestly, between these guys. They're really fast, and they clearly know each other just a little bit. There's senton, a PK, moonsaults, and then Santos scouts the cartwheel DDT, Jake Atlas's finishing move. He knows he's going for it, but kind of plays possum, catches him when he goes for the move, butterflies him, and hits him with that butterfly lift into the knee. Lift, I guess.
Yeah.
A lift into another lift. Well, the double knees there, and Santos...
Face buster on the knees,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
sure. Santos pins Atlas and regains the Cruiserweight Championship.
I thought this was good. I liked it more than... They got given a bit more time and a bit more... it was a bit more even than their first match a couple of weeks ago. And I like both of these guys. I just don't feel maybe these two click as well. Like, I really like both of them, but there's something that feels off for me with the match. I don't know if it's just the feud, that I think the feud's a little dead. But the match was entertaining. I feel this Cruiserweight division, I think Santos Escobar's an excellent character, and it's so much better than when it was just 205 Cruiserweights. I feel the characters are more defined. But kind of after that Drake Maverick feud, I don't think there's been a feud as kind of hot as that.
Yeah.
And I think Santos is capable of it. I just don't know quite who's going to step up to... I want something a bit more meaningful.
Yeah, I get it. They tried with this little feud, but it was Jake had his offense a few weeks back in that crazy multi-man, and then, yeah.
I don't think I cared. Like, I didn't really care who won coming out of it.
Yeah, there needs to be a more solid feud.
Yeah.
In the Cruiserweight division. So, I like Jake, though, and I think he's definitely got a bright future, but Santos definitely is, like, the main character in the Cruiserweight division. He's the champ, and it's better that he stays this way for a little bit longer with this reign. I actually thought this was, I guess, my match of the night. I don't know. Was there really...
I don't think there was one.
I guess this was...
really... Yeah, this was good, but...
Yeah.
I wasn't leaping out my seat or anything.
Yeah. So we go to a recap of Candice LeRae, who's talking about the tank last week. But then we have Shotzi, who says, the tank represents who I am. It's more than just a prop. It's not just cool. It represents freedom. My family were in the military, so not everyone knows that's why I also use a tank. And Candice, we're not gonna get even. We're way past being even. I have a message for you. I'm not looking for payback or revenge. I'm just looking to kick your ass. So Shotzi is mad at Candice, and will get her revenge. I mean, rightfully so. She broke her tank.
Yeah.
It's pretty mean.
It is mean. It is mean. Do you think they're going to have any sort of stipulation match?
Tank match.
What is a tank match? Is it like an ambulance match? You beat them up and shove them in a tank?
I want to find out. It sounds great. I don't know what a tank match is.
I think we're going to get some kind of stip match. Falls down anywhere, no DQs. Maybe a tank match. Who knows?
Be like Twisted Metal. What was that WWE Crush Hour? They had that game. The cards.
Okay.
It could be a Destruction Derby match.
All right.
Cinematch.
Let's do it.
Shotzi and Candice. And Candice has got like a
I think these two
derby.
are kind of crazy enough to not need a cinematch. I think they can do a bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
With just a general plunder match.
So you don't want to see them in cars and crashing and stuff. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I saw enough car parks on Saturday.
Where with
the Elite Deletion.
Was there a
I don't know. There was a car. There was a tractor.
There was a monster truck.
Yeah.
There was a monster truck.
That was it.
Yeah.
Golf buggies.
Monster
you have
trucks.
private party in their car.
Yeah, but this is a tank though.
I don't want any more cinematches.
I think Shotzi. Yeah, me too. Shotzi should just show up in an actual tank again. Remember, she just had one week.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should just do that.
Yeah, just as when they're about to move from the performance center, she can just like smash through it in her tank.
Jeez.
For an entrance.
Wow.
It'd be great.
That's a little excessive. I think there should be a spot where she like fakes that she's gonna literally run over Candice.
It'd be like Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye going through Russia
with the tank.
Yeah.
It'll be just like that. It'll be like Austin Powers when he's move, and the guy's like really far away, and he's like move, and he's they'll do that, but it's Shotzi in a tank. So Shotzi wants revenge. Obviously, we're going to Shotzi Candace in the near future, but Candace has a match later tonight. We have, is it Cameron Grimes and Dexter Loomis? What's happening?
So we just see a picture. Dexter Loomis is doing one of his other kind of caricature drawings, and it's Cameron Grimes looking at the zombie ref with his eyes popping out.
Oh,
it's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah,
he's a good artist.
Dexter?
Yeah,
he's pretty talented.
See him in like Leicester Square or like Times Square doing these drawings for people.
I wonder if these people still do that right now in the pandemic. Are they allowed to?
I don't know.
The draw.
I mean, it's pretty socially distant.
You're just drawing people. Creepy.
I mean, you pay for it. You ask for it.
Yeah, but no one's paying Dexter and no one's asking Dexter. That makes it creepy. If someone just started drawing you, that would be pretty weird.
I mean, his character is creepy.
Maybe he's onto something. We go to our next match. Raquel Gonzalez. Now, this might be the most...
This was what I was looking forward to tonight.
This is the most interesting story
in
NXT tonight. Maybe going right now. I don't even know what I'm about to begin to describe. Okay. Raquel Gonzalez comes out because she has a scheduled match against Xia Li. Because Xia Li last week pretty much begged William Regal, like, hey, I want to fight Raquel. And he's like, are you sure about that? And she's like, yeah, I am. So that match is scheduled. Raquel Gonzalez waiting in the ring now, and no Xia Li. Instead, out comes Boa. He comes down to the ring and says, I'm sorry, I've come here to tell you that Xia Li cannot wrestle you tonight. And Raquel Gonzalez is like, yo, what do you mean? She asked me for the match. I don't care about this. She challenged me, so she better come out here and fight me. And he's like, yo, I'm sorry. She's not going to be wrestling. And then he goes to leave. So Raquel...
I mean, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I'd be pretty mad.
She'd have had to be tested to come in here.
Yeah, it's WWE. I don't
know. No, they're testing now. Like, now. It took them a few months, but they are.
On track.
Like, I'd be mad. It's not like you're just turning up for work. It's like there's shit you have to go through right now.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna show up.
Also, you made it public that you wanted to like fight her. Like Xia, you wanted the match. So what the hell? So as Boa goes to leave, Raquel attacks Boa and starts throwing him around and starts like trash talking him. She asked for this, Boa.
NXT love having the bigger women just beat up men.
It's great.
On this show.
Yeah, it's awesome. So Raquel hits the like Texas tornado bomb on Boa here, lays him out and says, you tell everybody, take my name out of your mouth. Tell her, take my name out of her mouth. And leaves, and just leaves Boa like laid out here. But then the lights go dark and turn red, and like mysterious lights. It's weird.
We have like a white Chinese dragon going through the LED screen.
Yeah, the LED follows this dragon that's floating through, leading up to the stage, the entrance ramp there, with like a fog machine, the smoke going off, and out comes this old guy.
Yeah, let us know, YouTube room, if anyone knows who this is. I'm unfamiliar with him, but yeah, an older, well-dressed Chinese man.
He comes out.
Who is obviously associated somehow with Boa and Xia Li.
Somehow. He comes down, and he looks to hand Boa one of those letters. But then he also, like, grabs Boa's hand or wrist and, like, marks his hand, or at least looks like he is. Maybe it looked like it was already there. I don't know what he was doing. And then leaves and walks off through the smoke machine.
This was the highlight of the show for me. This is honestly the one story I'm invested in NXT right now.
What is going on?
Now, on SmackDown right now, SmackDown's been pretty good.
Yeah.
For main roster, it's been pretty good the last couple of months. And it's mainly down to this story with Roman Reigns and the family. And it feels very kind of Godfather-esque. I'm getting these real like mob vibes. Like Roman is the Godfather and you respect him. Right. You know, and you respect your family.
Okay.
I feel like we're getting a similar kind of thing with Xia Li. It feels very mobster family to me, but we don't know who is the who is the Godfather?
Ah.
Who's pulling the strings?
Well,
And
this guy.
why are they letting down the fact? But is this just another messenger? It's never the Godfather who does the hits.
Right.
Like, it's
yeah.
never Tony. You get Paulie, right?
Yeah.
So is this Paulie?
Well, maybe.
I've gone to Sopranos now, but
Well, I'm just confused. Like, is this? This is clearly the guy who's been writing these letters and paying.
is it though?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, we thought week 1 it was Boa doing this, and now I think there's still a guy above this guy.
No, this guy's the old. There's always an old guy, and the old
He's like
guys-
the old guy who's been the right hand man for like all.
So you're
his
saying
life.
there's another guy?
I think there's a super boss.
An
here.
actual fucking dragon,
Maybe. Which dragon?
not Dragon Lee.
Not Dragon Lee.
No, that'll be a different entrance in NXT, I'm sure. But something dragon, I don't know. Wait a second, you're not thinking what like?
I think we're on
No.
the same page here.
No,
Yeah.
you don't think
All comes back around.
NXT legend?
Richie Steamboat.
Oh my god,
That's what I think. yeah.
No, don't tease me. Don't. Wow, real ones no.
That would be the old. Everyone would be like, who? But honestly,
They get Chris Hero back.
Richie Steamboat, highlight of NXT 2012,
Yeah.
feud of the year.
Shout out Richie Steamboat.
Shout out Richie Steamboat.
So what's going on with this dragon man?
It sounds like I'm joking, but honestly, this was the story I'm most interested in. I think Zaya has played Terrified really well the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing Boa getting branded, and now we've got this old man branding people.
We need Kurt Russell to show
What's
up,
going on?
solve the mystery. Kim Cattrall, I think. Big Trouble in Little China.
I'm very interested. I don't know how it's going to end up relating to like wrestling. You know, like how are you then going to have a match out of this? That's why I don't see it being this guy. I feel you've got to be leading to someone, right?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. There's got to be another wrestler.
There's got to be something. Otherwise, it's just we've just got 2 terrified members of talent with like a lot
Okay.
of bad stuff going on in their personal life.
Yeah.
But how does it relate to a match at the end of it? Because that's what stories should drive to, right?
Right. Damn. There's so many ways this could go. First, we laughed and said her family. Well, maybe it is her family. We don't know. Wait a second. We're missing a huge pivotal point in the episode. Where was Xia Li?
Where was Xia Li?
Why wouldn't she fight? Why did this guy
Will
come
we
out?
see Boa again?
Well, he just got.
Are
like,
we just going to see this guy and Boa's going to disappear, and then eventually this guy's going to disappear?
There's so many questions. What was marked on his hand? What did he mark on his hand? Where was Xia Li? What was Triple H smoking when he came up with this?
Oh,
So many questions.
Chris Leone just said it's a Leah behind
Oh
him.
my God! It was
I'm-
right there in front of us.
I'm for it.
Why didn't we
Honestly,
see that?
if it is feud of the year, feud of the decade.
This is better storytelling than Hangman Page, Kenny Omega.
It is. Oh, it's a Leah.
Xia Li?
We got to have the match one more time, and then Xia Leah.
Right. What does that leave
For the
Boa
family.
and this old dude?
I don't know. Are we having a mixed tag challenge again anytime
Well,
soon?
wait. Is this older dude's not wrestling? We're gonna get another guy.
He'll
in this.
manage.
He'll be the manager.
Yeah.
Okay. This is NXT doesn't normally do this shit. That's why it's very standout.
But I think they're playing it well. I think both Boa and Xia Li have played their roles really well. This dude looked terrifying. I love the entrance with all the smoke and the dragons.
Dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You
who
know,
this guy
like
is.
NXT, we like an entrance in NXT. It gets people over, a good entrance.
Dragons are over.
Dragons are over.
Yeah.
They're popular.
So
I think this guy is like warming up for Waiting's team this year, maybe.
for the Dragons.
For the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, he would be a perfect manager for Way's team last year of the Dragons.
This guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely. I think you're right. It's definitely going in like some sort of mob kind of family tradition kind of thing. Obviously, you could say like a triad angle or a storyline. But I think you're right. Maybe there will be a wrestler that gets introduced into this kind of family because they're all well dressed in the suits and I'm interested. It's really really ridiculous. And like the fact that he like marks something on his hand is like, what are they going into like?
Or MJ said it could have been the Robert Stone brand.
Yeah, no.
I don't think it's Robert
No,
Stone.
no, I don't think so. What dragon? Shingo? Could be the American Dragon. Could be all the dragons. Just
Daniel Bryan.
He's coming back.
He's
with
coming back.
this guy in his team.
To take on Boa? What?
We gotta find out who this guy is. Is he just an actor? Is it like an old, like, it's gotta be a debut for someone, I feel.
I think so. I think that makes most sense. And
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it so far.
So, highlight of our week is watching. We thought we were tuning into a wrestling show, and then we got some sort of, I don't even know what kind of angle this was. So, that was fun.
Yeah.
And thread.
Yeah.
So we get a August Gray backstage, aka Retro Anthony Green, and he's asked about his thoughts on Timothy Thatcher, and he goes, "My thoughts on Tim," and he's attacked by Timothy Thatcher, and they start brawling around the backstage through the hallways here. When they start to fight, and Thatcher accidentally shoves Austin Gray into Dexter Loomis's painting that he did earlier. And Dexter shows up.
It looked like your picture of the CN Tower after you headbutted it.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, it got ruined. I saved it, though.
You did?
Yeah, Drake still looks good on the CN Tower outside my room. And so Dexter stares at him. William Regal gets involved. So Thatcher and Dexter, and they basically say, okay, he's mad at you. You ruined his painting, so you're going to have a match.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse than you're going to be in a shampoo commercial, but only one of you?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the cup of coffee. Or when, didn't Jericho piss on Kane once by accident?
He pissed on him?
I think he pissed. Kurt Angle pissed on Kane.
Right. Oh, that sounds more like
Jericho spilled his coffee on Kane.
Yeah.
It's always Kane.
Not that again.
Oh, wow. That was, what, a year ago?
Oh, God, who knows? So we're going to get Thatcher versus Loomis later, and we're all excited. So we go to our next match, Toni Storm versus Candice LeRae. And we have a little insert promo from Candace during her entrance here. And she says she can still hear the cringing and the popping of the tank from last week. And Shotzi, if you get in my way, I will run you over. And as for this punk rock poser, Toni Storm, it'll be the same outcome. She says, don't get in my way. Don't get in my way. She should just start running people over. Would be a great gimmick. That's what she's threatening everyone with now.
Why not?
Like Shotzi, yeah. First it's your tank, next it's you.
It's like Rikishi and Triple H in
I got
2000.
that. I got that vibe, yeah. So Toni versus Candice, and Toni starts off by working the arm and like the shoulder, spinning Candice around by the arm here. And every time Candice tries to get offense, Toni one-ups her, countering move for move. But on the outside, Toni runs into the steel steps, which gives Candice the offense. And Candice continues to work on her during picture-in-picture. When we come back, there's a strike fest when Toni hits a headbutt, and then a German suplex, and then the hip attack in the corner, the butt, if you will. Then a beautiful fisherman suplex with a bridge here, but Candice kicks out at 2. They start to fight up on the top rope, and Candice goes for her patented swinging avalanche neckbreaker, but gets dumped and gets dropped, and Toni hits a senton. But as the two of them now are kind of scuffling after a 2 count, Candice gets a roll up and gets her feet on the ropes, just like Jay White, how he beat Kota Ibushi for the briefcase.
Yeah.
God damn it. Candice LeRae pins Toni Storm, and after this match goes down, Ghostface shows up, but Ghostface looks a little smaller this week.
A lot smaller.
Ghostface attacks Toni Storm with Candice. Shotzi's involved. Ghostface and Shotzi are going at it. Ghostface and Candice beat up Shotzi. They do a kind of a double stomp to Shotzi, leaving her laying.
Yeah, it's Candice's new move where she like stomps down on the head, but the double one didn't kind of look good.
Ghostface reveals themselves. And no, it's not, was it Ben Loomis? No, someone Loomis.
Billy Loomis?
Billy Loomis,
yeah.
That's right, yeah. It's not Billy Loomis. It's also not Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. It's Indy Hartwell.
Yeah. Shock horror.
Yeah, okay, so clearly it was not Indy when it was, like, the dude, Scarface.
Yeah,
Scarface,
we
Ghostface.
thought there were 2.
There still might be.
Yeah, it was. I hope not. Like, I kind of feel this is like Halloween's done now.
Yeah.
I say as we're about to release a Friday 13th review, but Halloween's done. Like, it's kind of. I think this is it. This reveal. I don't think we're going to see any more ghost faces. But I did think maybe they were toying with the idea of two. But we haven't really seen Austin Theory, who was our thought. But this was definitely someone else. This didn't look like the same ghost face as before.
It was definitely Austin Theory.
Before. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's Indy Hartwell. Obviously, they've been building that up for a few weeks now. Was fine. Match was fine. I guess we're getting Indy Hartwell and Candice versus Shotzi and Toni in a couple of weeks, probably. Yeah, I'm not. This whole Ghostface was fun for Halloween Havoc, but it's like a couple of weeks now. I'm kind of just. It feels silly. It feels childish.
Well, it's over now.
It is over.
Yeah, unless we still get some other one. John Cena in the chat says that is it Leon Ruff's name was actually pasted over Austin Theory. So maybe there's something to do with that and storyline with Austin Theory, even though he quit and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. For me, feuds of running over toy tanks and then running around dressed as a serial killer from a film 25 years ago.
We'd rather an old guy show up and put markings on your hand as a
at least it feels fresh, and it's also being played seriously. Whereas this, it's come on, you're running over a toy tank.
It's not a toy.
I know it means something to her, but there's only so much investment I can get into that, and it's been going a bit.
There's only so much investment I can get into NXT this week.
Yeah,
because then we go to Tyler Breeze and Fandango, who they are in our main event tonight for the tag titles, a rematch against the Pat Pack. And they basically talk some shit again about Pat here, and they say that tonight is not the fun Breezango, it's the serious Breezango. Tonight is our rematch, and tonight we become 2-time tag team champions.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Not the fun Breezango. No fun to be had on this
yeah,
show.
There wasn't much fun to be had tonight.
Well, it's funny you said that, because up next is Dexter Loomis versus Timothy Thatcher. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
So Thatcher is technically the one who injured Loomis, was he not, in that match time?
It was one of those qualifier things a while ago.
So it's kind of the retribution, if you will. Thatcher is throwing Loomis around, doing all his Thatch stuff, and does a belly to belly toss, which was pretty tight. And then there's Loomis, who no sells after getting thrown out of the ring. Loomis hits a spine buster on Tim, but then on the outside, when he tries to escape, he throws Dexter shoulder first into the post. Back in the ring, there's a hatch suplex and then a commercial break. But when we come back, Thatcher is working the arm and starts to slam the arm and the shoulder onto the mat. And then I think inadvertently stomps on his head by accident, but then continues to beat him up. Dexter fights back with a clothesline bulldog combo out of the corner, and they continue to say, look at the icy stare, the icy stare, the icy eyes of Dexter Loomis. He's so icy, so icy. They fight up top, and there's this silence, which now Loomis is going to try to do this Uranagi sit-out side effect submission hold, but it's Thatcher who falls off the top. Loomis hits a swanton, a little overshot, but still hits him with it for a 2 count. He then takes his shirt off because he's hyped up. He goes for the silence again. Thatcher counters that into some sort of armbar, and then basically transitions that move into another crucifix type, pin, and gets the pin. Thatcher pins Loomis, has the shoulders down, but literally seconds after the bell rings for the victory, Cameron Grimes, out of nowhere, attacks Dexter Loomis, and then puts a burlap sack.
Cameron Grimes caused the win.
Cameron
Grimes ran out beforehand, causing the distraction.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he caused the distraction for the roll-up.
Okay. He actually distracted him out of the silence to stop Dexter from hitting the silence.
He ran out and grabbed at him or
something.
Oh,
man. I didn't even book that. I must have been looking away at one point here.
Then it kind of protected Loomis in this loss, yeah.
I was dead on arrival from the beginning of this match, to be completely honest. But Grimes attacks him, puts a burlap sack over his head, and continues to beat him up. It's Friday the 13th, part 2. vibes here with the burlap sack. Cameron Grimes gets a chair, beating the hell out of him, and then hits like the cave-in to a blinded Loomis while like the chair is
sat on the chair.
Standing.
That looked really cool.
That looked really cool. Yeah. But Cameron Grimes kind of standing tall here saying, "I'm not scared of you anymore, Loomis," and then laughs and walks off. But yeah, I didn't really, I don't know. This was a whole big groan from me from the beginning.
I'm trying to work out how to make it work, because I really like Thatcher as a wrestler, and I think when he first signed to WWE, people were kind of worried because how are they gonna work with his kind of character, because he doesn't have the best promo or kind of personality, but in the ring he's great. And I think they presented him pretty well to start with like the Matt Riddle feud, and he had like his matches with, was it Oney Lorcan, and he was billed just as this like badass wrestler, and I think it kind of worked. And when they started to try and inject maybe some personality with these Thatcher's Thatch Can, it hasn't been working, and it hasn't really been clicking with him. And then I don't think Dexter Loomis is really the kind of person you should be feuding with either. Loomis I quite like as a character. I think he's got it down really well. His matches are okay. Like his one against Roddy was horrible, but he's had some okay matches. But I think he's more just, I don't know. This just wasn't for me. I really switched off during this.
Yeah, I did too, and like I said, it's the fact that I didn't even catch. I was doing dinner tonight. We didn't come up with a creative NXT name for it.
No,
though. Chorizo something.
They didn't come out with a creative match, did they?
So
I don't know. I see Thatcher's more of the project I think could work, and it's a shame really you don't have those live crowds, because I think he's someone that you put Thatcher versus Kyle O'Reilly on in front of a crowd, it would tear the house down.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people like your Kyle O'Reillys, your Roderick Strongs, Matt Riddle's moved up, but those kind of people that he'd work with really well and could put on some really exciting matches. And I don't think you need to bill him more than that. You look at Volta, he's hardly doing songs and dances on NXT UK every week to keep everyone entertained. But you know it's a Volta match, you're going to watch it. Like, we don't watch NXT UK, but it's a Volta title defense, I'm probably going to stick it on. And you don't need to know much more than this guy's a fucking killer.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what you need to do with Thatcher.
Yeah, they
like,
totally
give him less
toned him
mic
down.
time and trying to do these comedic heel stuffs with these Thatcher's Thatch Can. It's dull.
Yeah.
This wasn't for me. So
No.
we're going to get another Cameron Grimes Loomis match, I guess. But
A rematch of a rematch.
I just think there are other like pairings that would work better for all these characters.
These are like B, C characters right now. And
exactly.
This whole show feels like we got C, B characters, really.
It does.
Johnny
It
Gargano
does.
losing to a D character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's just weird. The whole show feels just no star power, no heat whatsoever.
And I think so much of NXT has been Full Sail over the years. I mean, people give Full Sail grief, but they really will put over.
We're missing Full Sail?
But I think we are, because they really help put these people over. And you can tell when a lot of these guys watch the sort of the dark matches and start to know these characters that are lesser known, that when they debut, they know their chants and those kind of things. And it makes people feel a bit more special. Whereas when you've just got this like mini Thunderdome setting and like members of your own roster around the outside chanting it doesn't do anyone any favors.
Yes. Sorry. My thing decided to stop recording.
Okay.
So we're still live on YouTube, but give me 1 sec, guys, while I fix this. Whoops. Take 3. Sorry. Technical difficulty. It's retribution. Probably. Yeah. I think, yeah, sorry to kind of repeat what we were saying, but I feel like this isn't heat. There's no, I've been complaining about the Thatch Can thing. It's been super boring. The Loomis thing had its Halloween, like, climax, and then it's like you're still trying to.
But
you're
again,
still trying to.
that's what I mean. It's same with the Ghostface thing. It's still like Grimes being scared about Halloween.
Yeah.
It feels childish to me, a lot of this.
Yeah. Very, very not anything I'm interested.
No.
We go to Johnny Gargano. He's outside William Regal's office, and he says he's calmly going to talk to William Regal. He knocks on the door. Regal opens. He says, Mr. William Regal, I took your advice, and I cooled down. I'm loosey-goosey. The match with Leon Ruff should have gotten thrown out. It should be reversed. It's the right thing to do. And William Regal's like, no, you asked for this match. And Johnny gets mad, starts having a tantrum. Are you freaking kidding me? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Regal, it was rigged. It was a joke. It was a goof. I'm still the champion. And Regal says, actually, no, Johnny. The decision stands and the curse is alive. Ruff is the champion. Johnny's like, this is a joke. And freaks out and walks off, all furious and mad. So will Johnny get a rematch, possibly, down the line? Maybe.
Did the rematch clauses count in NXT? I know they're not on main roster anymore, but
I guess not, considering he would have had one against Priest again. So
true.
I see them fighting again, obviously, yeah. So I see Priest maybe coming out on top with the title. Again, it flip-flops around or something like that. Priest turns heel again and beats up Ruff. Anyone beats up Ruff.
we don't know where that car was going.
Whoa! Yeah, I like the conspiracy theories on today's show. So you're saying he's like, yeah, take this car.
I don't know. Someone check WWE.com. Was there some like post angle where
oh my God.
the black challengers taken out?
Oh my God. There's so many angles with parking lots and cars and things. Jeez. We have a video from Tommaso Ciampa. He says he's been in this industry 16 years and he's come across tough guys. He's trained with the best tough guys. Killer Kowalski, Harley Race. But times have changed. Killer Kowalski, one of the most famous killers in wrestling. Listen to one of our Patreon shows, you'll know what we're talking about. Ciampa says, I look around the locker room now and everybody's apparently tough. If you ask them, they say they're tough, and they have no problem telling you how tough they are. It's the world we live in. You complain, you get rewarded. You bark loud enough, long enough, they fear the bite. There's actions without consequences. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit old school. Maybe I'm a last of a dying breed. But this culture, 2020 locker room culture, it's going to change. Tommaso Ciampa is that change. And he sits up and throws his chair and walks off.
I'm kind of intrigued by this character. It feels like he's playing those veterans who are like, talk like Jim Cornette a bit. Like, wrestling's not what it used to be and people aren't tough anymore. It feels like he's kind of channeling that character. But it works for him because he does look like a tough guy.
Yeah.
He does look like a killer. Who do you see as being the... Like, I would say if an Austin Theory was around, but we've already had that sort of Theory match. But he seems the kind of character that this would be aimed at. Who do you see as... Because it's Ciampa, he's still a big deal. Who would the feud be?
Well,
Dream is hopefully done.
Yeah.
With this, like I think we finished that feud now. I would.
He says it's the whole everyone thinks they're tough. So I don't know who thinks they're tough here. In Priest, he could go after Priest for that title. Earlier, I did gloss over the wheel. Johnny did. It was landing on Ciampa, and he's like, "Oh, could it be Ciampa? Could it be?" And like, obviously, the fuck not. That's dumb.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know who he's talking about, but he needs to have another solid feud. I kind of predict Ciampa versus Finn as your next like big title match to heat up. It's funny you say that because next week live Finn Balor will be in the arena to talk.
I don't feel that goes with the narrative though. Like this character sounds like it's calling out the younger talent. Finn is a veteran like him. Like they've had the same sort of career. I wouldn't say it's one of your like Undisputed Era lot or your Finns or. It sounds like it's more of a rookie up-and-comer.
Well, if you complain, you get rewarded. He's talking about Johnny Gargano complaining, but he didn't get rewarded.
He didn't.
I don't know. Yeah, who is he talking about? Pat McAfee. Ciampa's going to join the Kings.
Join the Kings or take on the Kings?
I don't know. It's still so, like, like gray here. You don't know what he's talking
Yeah, I don't even know if they know.
Yeah.
But he's a good promo. And
He's
I
a good
thought this was
promo.
good.
It's pretty much the same promo he cut like the week before,
But yeah, Finn Balor.
yeah, Finn Balor's next week, so they could be.
They'll be addressing that title, I guess, and
his
hopefully
jaw.
he's good to come back. He's been off a few weeks now.
Hope
so.
he's all right. Yeah.
Mm.
So we have a prime target for Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley, and Io says, "You don't have setbacks. You do not have failure. I don't look back. I don't have these things, Rhea. Everyone finds out that I stop momentum. I've taken on the best and I've defeated the best. It's taken you, Rhea, months to recover from your loss at WrestleMania. That doesn't happen to me. Rhea, I'm not afraid of nightmares." Rhea says she does not quit, and you have clips of, I think, Sean Hayes and Sarah Amato basically saying, like, "Rhea, you're a badass. Remember, you're a badass," and talking about her and her training and stuff. And you will go into the same emotional low, says Io, after I beat you for good. So it ends with Rhea saying, "I'm taking back the title whether Io likes it or not." Next week, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Women's Championship.
Thought this was a weak build to this.
Yeah, I feel like it's used clips of the same clips.
I feel we've seen this prime target before for other matches, definitely.
Well, Rhea, I'm not afraid of nightmare, is what she said. So it's
That's what I mean. They've taken the same stuff.
They've
from,
definitely filmed
like
some
the
new
triple
stuff.
threat match and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
It's
I
very
don't
strange.
know. Obviously, Io Shirai's. It's not like English is her first language, so to do maybe a contract signing or something like that is a bit harder. But it just felt very uninspired because these are your two top full-time women in NXT. I say that because we obviously had the Charlotte thing, but there was no build to this. I don't feel like I would have liked a sort of in-ring segment or a backstage thing or something this week to hype up.
Even Rhea being a heel or something, because Io's our babyface. She's a cool babyface, but like, I don't know. There's no,
It just felt like, copy and paste this prime target.
Very, This wasn't even a prime target. You can't put this in the same thing. They've had good ones. This was
for sure.
Not like that.
When I think of prime targets, I think of going back to their, like that Volta one where they're going to like his WXW training gym, and or you're going to Ohio and you're seeing Gargano going to his old training school and that kind of thing. Going very personal, not just I had a shit 2020. You know what, Rhea? So did I. Fuck off. I don't care.
This was just okay. Like, I want to see this match, but it just the build seems a little weak. So we're getting that next week as well on NXT. But it's time for the main event. It's for the brand. The Kings come out, but their Titantron is all for the brand. And we get a recap of them just killing Killian Dane last week with the car. More car injuries. All the car injuries in wrestling. Pat McAfee, Peter Dunne, and...
Did you call him Peter?
Oney Lorcan and...
Daniel Burch.
The other guy. Pete Dunne has clearly lent Danny Burch his tanning supplies.
Oh, boy.
Or took him to the same place he goes.
It's so uneven. I just think they went to I think they went to some like election watch-along party fancy dress and both picked Trump because they've got that same uneven tan.
Why are they so tan?
Not blended in at the ears with the makeup and stuff.
Why?
It's bizarre.
I don't understand. Like, you look fine without this. I don't.
It's Brits though. Like Brits, you get a few weeks of sun like this a year.
Yeah.
They're now living in Florida.
Right.
They're gonna be hitting the tanning beds all the time.
Damn. He stood out. Like, he's so tan. Everyone's thought last week Pete Dunne was like so tanned, and then he just shows up still tan, still jacked, but then he's standing next to
Burch. It was the story on commentary for half the match as well.
So Pat McAfee has the microphone. He says Pete Dunne is a terror. He says Kyle O'Reilly, dead. That big, hairy Irish bastard, his face is dead. We're the best four-man group in wrestling, and don't forget it. I was flying down here to this hellhole of Orlando. I was getting tweets from Tom Brady. I saw that my company's up for $150 million right now. Today's a great day. But I almost died on my landing, essentially. He says his landing was a little choppy. That sumbitch turned sideways, but I'm still here. And I'm here for the dumbest community, which is the wrestling community. You don't deserve to watch this. Then he calls Vic Joseph Slim Reaper, and then he calls Wade Barrett Bad News Barrett. And tonight's the greatest night in NXT history, because we're here. Let's do this.
I feel we say on the other show about how when we look at Ricky Starks, we think of kind of The Rock from 1998, like that kind of Rock.
Yeah.
Pat was going for some Rock vibes tonight with his turtleneck with the chain around it.
That
but it was like a weird turtleneck t-shirt.
He quoted The Rock.
And then that turned that sumbitch sideways. Yeah.
Well, maybe Pat McAfee's the next Rock.
I think he is. He's halfway there already.
Yeah, you're right.
Who'll get there first, Ricky Starks or Pat McAfee?
I don't know. I never saw The Rock do a tope con hilo off the top turnbuckle to the outside.
Who did that?
Pat McAfee. at the takeover against Adam Cole. So this leads us to our main event, which is Breezango challenging for the titles they lost against Team 1-2, the Brit and Brawlers, or the Kings of NXT, or the Brand, whatever you want to call them, the Pat Pack, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. Breezango attacked them right away because they're pissed off. I will say, we took a commercial break after the promo, and we did come back to Cameron Grimes saying that he's not afraid of Dexter Loomis, and that he caved him in. Did you see that? But I got somewhere to be. I got to be on the moon. Yeah. And he walks off.
He's faced his fears. Don't they say to do that? Like, if you're afraid of, like, spiders, like, put a tarantula in your hand. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because he was like, I admit, I'm scared of Dexter Loomis, but I've killed him now.
Do you ever face your fears?
Sometimes.
I once put I've multiple times now put snakes around my neck. It helps. You don't ever face your fears?
I'm trying to think what I'm scared of.
I saw you back on Tinder, so maybe you do.
Enough about that.
So face your fears, Cameron Grimes. He did it. It worked for him. So if you learned anything, do that. Breezango attack 1-2 early on this match, and there's a series of super kicks onto the outside. There's a spot where Tyler Breeze and Fandango throw Danny Burch like into Pete Dunne and Pat McAfee, and Danny Burch is like upside down here, and his foot legit like hits Pat in the face.
Oh yeah.
It reminded me of when Renee Young got like someone's boot thrown at her.
That's right, yeah.
It looked like it really hurt.
The best is when it happens to JR, because you see he gets so pissed. There was a time recently, wasn't it when MJF took out Jericho, like in the Go Home show?
Yeah.
And
last week.
Or it was something like that recently, and JR was clearly not ready for it. And it happened with Jay White in New Japan. And JR he's at the age now where he just can't hide his emotions. So if he's mad about something, but yeah, I mean, I'd be mad if I'm doing my job and I get kicked in the face.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Well, it's okay that it happened to Pat. So they go to commercial break. When we come back, Pat is like now like not sitting. He's kind of like all around the place because he's furious that he got kicked in the face. We have Burch who hits a backbreaker on Breeze, but he fires back with a slingshot to Danny Burch and then tags in Fandango. He takes on Oney here. There's a clothesline turning him inside out and a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. There's then a tope off the apron to everybody. Oney and Dango are up on the top in the ring, and then Pat McAfee is like making a distraction here, doing all the classic distraction referee. He's clearly watched a lot of wrestling, and he's doing like the football
he's going
poses.
On one as someone else runs
all crazy.
Around.
But Drake Maverick runs in and he kicks Oney Lorcan, kind of stopping him from hitting this move, and then Fandango hits like the top rope leg drop, his finishing move, but Oney kicks out. There's Pete Dunne who kind of gets involved. There's just chaos. Pat's still getting involved. Drake's there. Burch headbutts Dango, and then there's the assisted DDT, and they pin Fandango, and the Kings of NXT retain their NXT Tag Team titles, and then they continue to pose here, but Maverick off the top jumps. They catch him. They beat the hell out of him. There's like a X-Plex onto the announce table, and then they attack Fandango and Tyler Breeze, and then they hold Tyler dangling over the commentary table, similar to how Adam Cole once was, and Pat McAfee does his running punt, knocks Tyler Breeze out, says, "We are awesome. We're the greatest. You suck as NXT goes off the air.
Yeah. I like these guys. I like Breezango. I like Burch and Lorcan. To main event, no.
Yeah, this is really weird.
Especially when we haven't had anything of some like star quality the whole show. I think I'm into the faction, but this looks, when we're talking about Undisputed Era versus these guys at War Games, it looks like we could be getting Breezango, Killian Dane, and Drake Maverick versus these guys.
War Games.
Wow,
that sounds hype.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. What is Adam Cole's status? Is he injured right now, or is he just taking a bit of time off? Or
I don't know.
Because we've only seen him on like tablet, haven't we?
Right. Yeah.
For a few weeks.
He says Ridge hurt him, and it's been a while. And then like there was the takeouts. Remember, like the whole Undisputed Era was taken out. So they're either still selling this injury, or I don't know what. But so
sorry, but like as I said, I like these guys, but these aren't my A-listers to... I think the tag team titles have been at that level before where they can main event. I don't think these are the guys to be main eventing. I'm sorry.
There's no star power here.
There isn't any star power here.
This is no heat. Like I mentioned, this whole show,
the star power is there as a group, like as a foursome with Pat. Yeah, I can buy that, and I can buy that as an angle to close the show. But not when it's a beatdown on Fandango. To close the show beating down Undisputed Era, who are stars,
right?
Yes. Beating down Tyler Breeze, no.
Yeah, so I have this screams we're just a unit until after our War Games, and then we're disbanded. Even the Titantron for the brand and the music, it's like, no, you're not lasting after War Games. That's what this screams to me, and I think it's kind of see-through. You can see that's the angle. I see them taking out Dango, Drake, and Dane, and then Undisputed Era get involved, and then that eventually sets up War Games or some type of War Games match, if they're allowed to do it that way.
I mean, maybe you could do we're assuming War Games is coming. We don't even know if we're already past the point of the year where War Games would come.
Yeah, but we do a lot of TV Wednesday specials, right? So,
but War Games is 2 rings, 2 cages.
Yeah.
Like, can you even fit that? I mean,
do it outside.
Thunderdome only has a couple of weeks left before they've got to move, I believe.
Damn.
So I don't know if War Games will even be a thing. Maybe you'll see like this 8-man tag happen, and it can be a big deal because it's Pat McAfee on a TV match, and then build to a pay-per-view. Not necessarily War Games, but the 8-man against UE. But yeah, this was just a really lackluster episode of NXT. I feel NXT is a good show. Like, it's a good show with some good wrestling, and I like majority of the people there, but it just has lost that it factor. It's lost that star power.
It lost the cool factor. It's not the cool show anymore.
No,
let's be honest.
it's just another show in the week to watch.
It is. It's not the cool show.
And I don't know what the fix is. I mean, I think we've said before, obviously the Karrion Kross injury was unfortunate. Not big into Karrion Kross's wrestling, but he feels like a star.
Right.
I think Matt Riddle moved up too soon. I think Keith Lee moved up too soon. I think they should be your Garganos, Ciampas, Coles now, and those guys who I've just mentioned need to move up. We've kind of skipped a generation and been left with like a load of kids graduated before the seniors did. You know, it feels
like Doogie Howser.
It feels really weird, and you've now got your like good for him, but this seems more of an angle. But Leon Ruff is your
right
North American champion. It feels like it's really taken a step back.
Yeah.
When you consider a year ago they were going to be in Survivor Series, they won Survivor Series, they were throwing everything at the wall with USA. It feels like they've gone, okay, we're the second show now on Wednesdays, and we're okay with that, and we're just gonna do our thing.
Yeah.
And it's
so cold.
It feels really cold.
Yeah, it's just like not even hype. Obviously, you can tell from the way you're describing tonight's episode, and we're always honest, and it's like, it's just so. Yeah, I didn't quite understand. I don't know what's missing. Something is, and it's just so. It's boring.
It's boring. Yeah,
it's boring. So, listen to us talk about AEW on upNXT. Patreon.com/upNXT. Yeah, I didn't say this was like necessarily bad. At least we got the highlight of the show.
It's lacking. I think
Xia
it's
Li.
lacking that. Yeah, that was the best thing.
It was lacking Xia Li.
It's lacking that like A-lister indie talent to come in, and that's what we used to have. We had all these good guys, but then you'd have Adam Cole's coming in, and you had all these other guys from outside. Finn Balor coming in, Kenta coming in.
I know
Nakamura.
where you're going with this. Jay White.
Jay White, I think, would help. Honestly,
the Rascals.
Jay White and the Rascals, I think, would freshen things up a lot.
Right.
They're like the rumors at the moment.
Yeah.
But Jay White, as you come in, you do the surprise attack angle to debut, or you do your front row in front of video screens on an LED waving. Oh, that's Jay White. I think he's a main eventer, but that would shake things up.
He's a main eventer who's scheduled to main event January 5th. So how could he?
Oh, what's the Wednesday after that?
A lot of people leave after that week.
Yeah, they need to sort out those contracts. Why be like, your contract ends January 5th?
After our
Have a month or so. But yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying Jay White would be something that ruffles the feathers here, but I just feel like...
Well, no one in the company there is ruffling feathers now, so it needs something.
I just feel like wrestling in general, right? Like, any hot indie stars go to, like, the AEW or whatever, or get signed to WWE, and they become bad guys, essentially. People hate you if you sign to companies or whatever, but it's just, without indie shows and up-and-coming people, it's hard because there's not new stars.
Yeah. Right? Sorry, I just want to, like, roll on the Jay White train.
Yeah.
Finn Balor's your champion. This is the original leader of Bullet Club, the current leader of Bullet Club. They do dip into that lore sometimes in NXT. That can be a like WrestleMania main event, and then Finn goes to main roster again.
Sure. And
Jay sticks around. I mean, this is all assumption, but
yeah, we're just fantasy booking.
We're fantasy booking here, but it needs something like that, I think.
But those Rascals, though.
Yeah, the Rascals are great. Bring them.
They're gonna do the smoking gimmick, the '70s show gimmick.
Why not?
When they first debuted on Impact, I got a text from John Pollock. He's like, "You need to watch the Rascals."
They've been great. Like, obviously, I do the Impact reports, and they just kind of out of nowhere announced this week. Next week's our last week.
Yeah, we're just speculating on rumors and stuff.
But the tag division, look, your main event was Breezango versus Lorcan and Burch.
Yeah, we need new people.
The Rascals would help that a lot.
Yeah. Interesting.
Trey would be a great character in your Cruiserweight division or North American division. I think we need some... Which sounds crazy because the roster's so bloated as it is, but everyone's so bleh.
Yeah, we need better stories. We need something. So, old guy who comes in dressed as a dragon suit thing, marking people's hands. That's the most exciting thing we got out of the episode.
Xia Li needs to main event the next takeover, whatever it is.
Wow, we're really...
This is the best story.
This is the best... Yeah. Let us know who do you think is that person coming in with the Xia Li. We had the chat saying it was Karen Q. I really hope that's not it.
No.
But we'll see.
I'm not familiar with Karen Q.
So that was NXT. That's what we thought. We thought it was kind of meh. Let's see what you thought. Forum.postwrestling.com. Every Wednesday night we'll post up here. You can write comments and questions. And I see the first one from MJ from NJ, who's got a picture of not only joining us for our post show on one screen, but not two screens, but 3 screens.
Wow.
He's watching us.
That's
live.
too much Braden Herrington right there.
That's a lot. That's a lot of facial hair. None of your chest hair sticking out a little bit. MJ has a comment, though, with his picture. He says, I watched NXT first tonight so I could tune into the YouTube show while I work forever. So I'm dropping some feedback. It's been a minute. NXT became a brand with a lot of nice guys, good talent, all kind of killing time before eventually being ruined on the main roster. And I'm not going to lie, it totally kills the enjoyment of this show. I love that Cruiserweight match because I like good wrestling, not because I'm invested in getting behind either guy the way I was in the glory days of Sammy, Kevin, Finn, and Joe. There are also just way too many talents meandering around the roster. Back in the day, programs, feuds, takeover matches, next program, feud, call-ups. It's like, is Dexter just going to be in NXT doing whatever he does for years? Where exactly is Thatcher going? How are we in year 4 of Pete Dunne and he's just a guy in a stable? I love Undisputed Era, but their prophecy storyline ended and now they're just still here. The progression that made NXT so unique and exciting in the past has been stripped away and therefore a good wrestling show, but compared to how I used to view the brand, it's disappointing. The only talent I feel invested are in the female talent because I think they're all legit unique characters. I just want the entire show to be the women's division.
We go to Paul from New Jersey. Fear the wheel. Gargano should have known better. That Shotzi Blackheart promo had some real intentional, unintentional comedy in there. I so badly wanted her to bring up her dad. I like Indy Hartwell. Okay.
Like how I just slipped that in there. Got you. Nice.
It's like, you know, when ACH went on his rant.
And I like Caleb Braxton.
And I like Caleb Braxton.
She's like, yo, I don't know.
Caleb Braxton's cute. Anyway, this week's Kona question. If we were booking Kona's return, what would you do? Who would he feud with?
Put him in the brand.
Like the brand? The Xia Li?
Oh my god, they're not called
He's the
brand.
leader?
The dragons? Whoa. He's not a dragon though. He's not like, I don't know. I'd put him with Pat.
Yeah.
I'd put him with Pat.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Sure. Yeah, him and Pat, tag team.
I don't know. I just want to see him on TV.
I just want him back.
Yeah. He's the leader of the dragon
Yeah, I
crew.
think so. I think that would be a great...
I don't know.
Just comes in smiling, riding a dragon.
He's the finest.
He's the finest.
And he wants Boa and Xia to be the finest too.
I think so. He's
Finest.
just helping his friends.
We go to Sango from Malaysia. Hey, what's up? He says, just want to send my congratulations to the new North American champion, Leon Ruff. Always hyped to see fresh faces get involved in big storylines, especially those without much indie cred going into NXT. So he's seeing some love for Leon Ruff tonight.
We go to Crooked Letter 9. The love-hate relationship between Johnny Wrestling and Wheels took a turn for the worst. Leon Ruff becoming North American champion evoked Razor 123 Kid vibes. Candice LeRae versus Toni Storm was very good, with Indy Hartwell revealing herself to be a ghost face. The Kings of NXT running roughshod over the main event was chaotic. Next week looks to be loaded with Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley facing off and the return of Finn Balor. I hope it's good news. Karrion Kross may not be that far behind. A decent episode.
Yeah, so what? You think Karrion Kross is going to show up to confront Finn Balor? Because there's rumors that he's ready to go.
If he's ready,
so, like,
why
there's
not?
an interesting
Yeah.
storyline, that crossroads there. And our final piece here, Mystery, who says, Hiya, here's my feedback. My man, Leon Ruff. Johnny should have known better than to rig the wheel. On a serious note, I think the title change was also done to put the North American title on Pat or Pete Dunne. Yeah, that is exactly what I think as well. Pete Dunne looks a little naked out there when his boys got the tag titles. So it would make sense without taking the title away from Johnny, who's clearly a bad guy. Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley for the title next week. How surprising. Who do you guys have winning? My money is on Io, if just for the fact that Rhea kind of tipped her hand in a fairly decent interview about wanting to move to the main roster and getting her payback with Charlotte, along with feuding with the other stars. With Survivor Series coming up and Lana being put through tables each week, I have to imagine whoever loses next week is being called up to replace her and probably carry Team Raw to victory for the women. Okay.
Oh, so you
Instead
think
of-
that soon that Rhea will lose and move up to captain the team? Okay.
Do it.
I think she's moving up. Yeah, I see. Answering your question, I'm picking Io to win next week.
Yeah, me too. Continuing, Mystery says, still don't care about Timothy Thatcher, and I hope the Undisputed Era returns soon, although I could live without Bobby Fish returning due to his very questionable political leanings and viewpoints. Oh, interesting. No question of the week this week. Thank you,
right.
Mystery. Thank you, everyone, for feedback. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yes.
Tuning in live here on our YouTube
And
as
let's
well.
thank some wonderful patrons as well, who, with their support, allow us to keep this show free for you each and every week. I want to say thank you to Jason Dimiterko.
Thank you, Jason. You're the greatest.
I want to say thank you to Chris Masterson, excuse me.
You're also the greatest.
I want to say thank you to Terrence.
I like Terrence.
Just Terrence.
Terrence is cool.
Thank you to Matthew Yanez, and thank you to Rob McDonald. Thank you very much,
Thank
guys.
you to both. You're both awesome. Thank you to Megan Yusuf. Magan, you're awesome as well. Thank you to John Taylor. Thank you to Callum Johnston. Thank you to Sean.
Just Sean. Sean and
Just Sean.
Terrence.
You're all patrons on our Patreon, and we want to say thank you. for supporting. And thank you for listening and supporting this show. They are the people who keep this show free every Wednesday. And we'll continue to do NXT, even though if we don't like it, like we didn't like tonight's. But every Wednesday, we record live on our YouTube, youtube.com/upnext. And of course, you're listening to this, you found the podcast wherever you find your podcasts. But we do so many podcasts, like we mentioned, all the Survivor Series shows that we've been doing, the ECW show, the What's Next that we've mentioned, all that stuff. Patreon.com/upnext for the schedule for all the shows. $5 a month, North American tier, gets you access to everything. And that's it. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week chatting all about the progression of the Dragons. I need to. That's the only storyline we got going, so we're gonna go forward with that. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I think so.
That's it.
I think so.
We can all
That's
agree.
what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Tune into NXT next week to find out what is happening with Xia Li and Boa. Take care, guys.
It was a rough night. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. Ahoy.
Ahoy!
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
How you guys
My
doing
lovelies.
out there? Your lovelies. They're all wondering what's with the Dragons. And we are wondering too. Thank you for listening. Eric Marcotte, Frank, John, MJ, M. Darrett.
Yeah, we had some new people in the room today,
awesome.
or like people that don't come in so often. Sincerely, thank you. Sincerely.
I know Scrump was lurking earlier.
Dark
Probably still is.
Star.
Dark Stars. Always in there.
Yeah, thank you, Scrump. Chris Leone. We also had. Who else was this?
Dragons. Why do
Dragons.
they have to be dragons?
Deaton, the Pokemon YouTube master. That was the one I was looking
That's
for.
Charbel's burner.
Probably. Super TW, thank you very much. Yeah, we love you all. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again very soon. Obviously, we'll be doing this again next Wednesday. Take care, guys. We love you. Bye. Forever.